from your face, and they've damn near sucked it out of this whole place. When you're floating dry and gray in that cold space, somehow I'm gonna sing you through. Circling monsters there may be, if they rip and bite and batter at your peace, just know I'm gonna sing you through. Possess your sleep, fill you with dreams of heartache, promises you just can't keep. Somehow you'll hear these words slip through, not loud but deep. That's how I'm gonna sing you through. There are demons, monsters, anything with claws and teeth. They drag you under the cold and dark to rest your bones beneath. You better not grow old down there, don't fall asleep. Hold on, I'm gonna sing you through.
All right. So if you've ever seen me do anything live and by myself, whether it's, original music like this song or my cover sets, I cheat a little by looping what I do live It's my way of still keeping everything organic and in the moment, so I'm not bringing tracks to any performance, but at the same time I can incorporate ideas that I otherwise can't do with only one mouth and 10 fingers. So when I do this song by myself, there are sections that I actually wrote this song to loop. So the portion where you hear "sing you through, you're gonna make your way, make it through, don't stop now," it was meant to sort of be this almost self-fulfilling prophecy mantra that a person could think to kind of keep themselves going until they got there. And that's why I thought it was an appropriate thing to have be repetitive. I like to make sure that whatever ends up getting looped has a reason to repeat. And now, when we do this song together, I fortunately have the flexibility of inviting a real voice that can change, and you even sometimes follow me up in those harmonies as everything gets a little bit more intense toward the end. So having a real person there, even just for that vocal part, is hugely different for me. And it's nice to rely on something that is real and rhythmic outside of the piano to kind of keep a slow groove instead of feeling like it becomes dirgy. Because this song can be a little bit in danger of that side of the ballad, I feel like. So it's definitely different when I do it by myself, but I prefer it. Our duo version, honestly.
When I play acoustic guitar, I try to, and especially because I do duo, and there's no, I don't have a loop and stuff. I have a turtle if I need to play rhythm.
Turtle is Todd.
Yes,
He's a person and does not have a real shell, as far as we know.
Does not have a shell. So playing with the duo, I try and play very rhythmically. And you can hear it's very percussive when I play. I wanted to bring a bright sound because you wanted to convey your lead in that one spot. And I know you were looking for some sort of rhythmic sound in the background underneath your lead of a rhythm. And I guess you could speak to that, but I hope that was what added to it.
In the version that I recorded multi-track on my own, I use a harpsichord sound. So it's got that sort of bright, shining string sound that, short of having a guitar, you're otherwise not going to get through a piano or a keyboard. So I think it kind of emulates that sort of shimmering light coming through something dark that I'm envisioning thematically at that point in the song. The other thing I love about what you do in this song, and I think you can hear it in the version that we did, is your addition of harmonics. When we get to that like accent, when there's that beat before "I'm gonna sing you through," that title drop that keeps coming through. And it sort of just announces that feeling of like an epiphany, that realization, like, oh, this might work,
Absolutely. No, the light goes off.
Yes, and that sound, that harmonic, that ding, is kind of that sound for me. One of my weaknesses, but also one of my differences, is the tendency to overwrite a lot of the songs and try to get too complex with some of the chords in a way that I think in my earlier writing obfuscated the meaning. It made it less catchy, less memorable. So I am working on it. But this piece is weirdly simplistic in terms of its chord structure compared to a lot of the other things that I've written before. And it was a little bit of a challenge when I was writing it. I'm like, wait, so that's it? So there are some things about this song that are really simple in comparison to other things that I've written. Some of the things that are complicated, I think, are a lot of the references that I don't often get to explain hidden throughout the lyrics. So one of the things that I think shows up as a motif is the existence of these like mythical, monstrous creatures, right? So one of them is a kelpie, which is, from my understanding of the myth, it's apparently this Scottish horse that lives in a lake and will drag you down to the bottom
Okay.
to drown you and eat your corpse.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I reference kelpies, it's not meant to be cute.
Wow.
It's a scary thing.
And it made it in your song.
It made it made its home in my song.
Love that.
I mean, there's other things that people know, like the vampires and the ghouls. So I think there's a lot of imagery that suggests that the things that we face can feel so supernaturally evil. And this song was written to confront things that just felt supernaturally bad. Like this cannot be happening. And one of the things that it brought to mind as a former English teacher was the Shakespeare play Macbeth. Macbeth was written to play up on demonology and fear of the occult, especially at the time that Shakespeare was writing, I believe, for King James. So one of the things that was included was the witches. You know, they're the famous weird sisters, and that's why I included a couple Macbeth references. And one of them is a moment where I quote the moment where Macbeth recounts hearing curses from people who are rightfully denouncing him and his misdeeds, and he remarks that he hears these phrases, these condemnations, as not loud, so not spoken freely necessarily, or people who are able to speak freely, but deep, meaning that they are heartfelt. I take that quote from the play and I turn it on its head. I'm almost suggesting there are certain things that maybe to comfort somebody we're not able to say very loud, but when the right person hears it, I think they understand that it's meant deeply.
So I think music is beyond healing for so many. I wear a bracelet that says music heals. I leave it on and look at it to remind me that it brings you through so many moments, either alone or even together. It could bring people together, or it could bring you solace when you're alone.
I recall something from my personal experience and something I've seen backed up by scientific studies that suggests that music is sort of this super repairer of our missing memories. So a dear friend and family member of mine was beginning his battle with memory loss and just beginning to show some signs that recognizing family members had become a challenge. So in one of these visits to his home, there was a piano there, and just on a whim, I started playing a couple pieces, and one of them was As Time Goes By, and he began singing and knew all the words perfectly. And for a few minutes, even after that, he was just very much his normal self. And there's a lot of research that backs up the idea that people who are suffering from memory loss can almost have their mental state resurrected, even if it's just temporarily, by a familiar song. So I think there is something scientifically special about music and the mind. But I also think I've been surprised in ways that I couldn't have predicted at how impactful some of my silly songs have been for some strangers. One of the things that has compelled us to begin this project as something online was the reach. In my own little YouTube, just posting my own pieces, I had some people that I've never had the pleasure of meeting in person commenting that songs like this one, this is one of the ones that I've received this comment on, got them through a really difficult day. And I was like, man, like I wish I could know you well enough to understand what it is that you're dealing with. But even just this on its own is making me feel like it wasn't for nothing. So I do think that musicians have a little bit of a duty to, if they can, make things better for somebody else, anybody who's receptive to music as that healing force.
Absolutely. That reminds me of also for myself, during COVID, a lot of local musicians started to put these live streams for people. And to this day, I still hear from many people that, wow, you having you guys in our living room during that time, it got me through so much. And the one thing about this music always being the lifter of spirits or drowner of sorrows.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the unwritten rule in the Old West. Whenever a gunfight broke out in the bar, it was the unwritten rule not to shoot the piano player because he was the only guy who knew how to play music, and he was the only guy to entertain us
Mm-hmm.
in that thing, and that was the unwritten rule. And it was like, let him get out safely, and unless he was the one in trouble.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Yeah, I'm team dogs. Team dogs, all day. It's just man's best friend.
Well, tell us about your best friend.
Yeah, Piper's my boy, and 7 years now of my little ADHD furry friend that I would take everywhere I can go and the best I can. I wish I could bring him to gigs. Piper does love music. So Piper's favorite song is Close to You by Karen Carpenter. And I think it's because I've sang him the beginning of that so many times because he loves birds. He's a bird dog. And why do birds suddenly appear? And he loves it. And he loves it.
Oh, it makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
And who doesn't love Karen Carpenter? I mean,
All right, I'm a major disappointment because my answer to this question is both. I have a dog, 3 indoor cats, and 1 outdoor cat who just has insisted to live his life in the wilderness a bit with a tracker, so it's really funny. I don't know, I can't pick. I love the fact that cats will only decide to have something to do with you if they really genuinely want to. And having a dog has been very eye-opening because, yeah, the unconditional love truly is unconditional. Pepper, not Piper, is my girl, and actually, I think we're both in the midst of finishing up dog songs.
oh, yeah.
I promise
Oh,
neither
yeah.
of us
Oh, yeah.
copied the other, as far as I
Yep.
know. But so those are coming. But clearly, being pet owners is part of our lifestyles. So yeah, both.
Family.
Yeah, family, totally furry family.
Very family. Thank you for joining us.
This was Trash Talk. See you next Tuesday. Sorry. All right.
Did not mean to be so rude. It was not me. It was my food. It just popped up to say hello, and now it's gone back down below.
We got it. We got it.